chairman, Board of Fellows. Please kindly permit me to dwell on the existing protocols. I've been given the job of telling us who the speaker is, and he is Engineer Abiodun Fijabi. You want to wonder what an engineer is doing with the job of a motivational speaker. Engineer Abiodun Fijabi is the CEO of Lord Princely Associates Limited, a firm of public speakers and trainers working with leaders and organizations in 4 continents of the world. He was the host of Leading Right, an award-winning inspirational on radio. He received the JC International Outstanding Young Persons Award in 1991. He's the National Director of the Full Gospel Business Men's Fellowship International and the former National Vice President, International Christian Chambers of Commerce, Nigeria. Engineer Abiodun heads up Church and Vision International, an organization that helps develop the capacities of church leaders across the world. He's a senior faculty of the Atlanta-based Engr International for advancing the skills of strategic leaders from the developing world. Engineer Fijabi founded High Flyers Nigeria and Eliot College and Leadership Academy to prepare young adults for a lifetime of leadership, development, and service. He holds a master's degree in production engineering and management of the University of Lagos. He's a multiple academic and community award winner. Abiodun is a non-academic member of the Senate of the Technical University of Ibadan. He sits on the boards of many organizations, some of which he is privileged to share. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Abiodun Fijabi. Put your hands together to welcome him.
Thank you. What a joy to be here today. I saw a lot of beautiful cars out there, and I was told that they belong to the surveyors. So the concept that we had before about surveyors living in the bush looks like that has changed now. They live in glass houses now, and they are comfortable, billionaires. We're not praying, that's already happened, hasn't it? Okay. All right, what a joy to be here. Mr. Chairman, what a joy to be here. Thank you, distinguished fellows. It's an honor to be with you. I am very familiar here. There have been a lot of people from Lagos, and I know them like the back of my hand. And then there are people from the state who are my brothers and sisters. And what a joy to be here. Thank you, Dr. Ajilola, for asking me to do this for the Board of Fellows. All right, let's look at the challenge of leading a professional association into a desired future. Why do we need that? It is because every professional association thrives on the strength of its leadership. The buck person stops with leadership under any circumstance. There are no excuses a leader gives. A leader that gives excuses is not qualified to be a leader. Leaders envision a desired future and then they go for it. And they don't give excuses. In actual fact, the same reasons people give excuses are the very reasons why leaders thrive. They ride on the back of challenges to bring about the kind of change that they desire. For as long as people live under excuses, they will never get things done. And sadly, a lot of professional associations are like that. The leadership vacuum still exists in a lot of associations because the real leaders fail to show up. And so the desired future that associations are looking for becomes a mirage of some sort, something that would never happen. But that doesn't have to be our case here. Let's be very, very sure about who leaders are. Leaders create a shared vision of a desirable future for her association, for their association and membership. That's what they do. That's what leaders do all over the world. The desired future they seek meets the real needs of the association and its membership. So it's not about some self-aggrandizement or just showing off what we can do or what they want to do, or just plowing things into their own pockets. It's about being able to identify what are those needs, the real needs of the people, and how to meet them effectively. They exercise the deliberate and special influence on their members to take them to the desired future. It's not about force. It is not about bullying. It's about the strength of their influence upon the people that makes it possible for them to take their members to the desired future. So they see the now, which everybody sees. They also see the past. But it is the goal of a leader to take them from now to a desired future. And to do that requires a great deal of deliberate actions. And those actions are what separate the boys from the men. Leadership challenges. Leadership challenges the status quo to create a change that uplifts the association and its membership. I'd like you to look at Nigerian Institute of Survey and look at its future. What are the challenges today that stare you in the face and that make it look impossible to solve? Those are the same reasons why leaders must emerge, to be able to address those challenges and be able to create a desired future. I like what Isaac Newton did. You are all surveyors. I know that you did a little bit of physics. Not just a little bit of physics, a lot of physics. Okay? Isaac Newton, the father of physics, said, if I have seen further than others, it is because I'm standing upon the shoulders of giants. That's the way I've been able to be successful. And that's true of us. And guess what? That is going to be true of NIS. Okay? That means the authentic leaders of NIS must rise up. And we have to ask, who are those giants upon whose shoulders NIS must rest? Are those shoulders broad enough to take NIS? Or are they minuscule, only concerned about helping the giants themselves rather than the entire NIS? Are those shoulders broad? Are they accommodating? And another question is, are they available to be able to lend those shoulders, to be able to build a desired future? I'd like you to look at fellows and see yourself as giants. And guess what? There are certain characteristics that separate you from the rest of NIS members. You have knowledge. No doubt about that. You've come a long way. I doubt if any fellow will be less than 40. I mean, you have achieved a great deal. You are successful. All right, you might say, okay, I can be more. Yes, everybody can be more. All right, and you have expertise which you have acquired over the years, for which you should be grateful, for which the nation should be grateful, for which NIS should be grateful. One thing that is needed in order for you to be the full giants that will change the course of history of NIS is to add to your knowledge and expertise the right character. Unfortunately, there may be some giants that have knowledge, have expertise, and they lack the right character to be able to provide broad shoulders and make themselves available and accommodating enough to be able to lead NIS into his field. Okay? Let's see the way that works out. Without character, you become insensitive bosses rather than authentic leaders who will be able to take NIS to the next level. So you have to check that. Guess what? Giants who do not have the character, they enjoy their successes. They are very happy people, successful people. They have lots of money and they can travel. Their husbands and wives are doing well. But they disconnect from the mainstream NIS and the upcoming suburbs. Our time has come and gone. It's our time now. You wait for your own time. That's the attitude that they have. Look at them. They want to trample on others, either with their high heel shoes or with their whatever Italian shoes as men. And they are bosses. But the boss drives people. The leader coaches them. The boss depends on authority. The leader on goodwill. The boss inspires fear. The leader inspires enthusiasm. The boss says I. The leader says we. The boss fixes the blame for the breakdown. The leader fixes the breakdown. The boss says go. The leader says let's go. So you can see the difference between the two. But look at this. Suppose that this board decides to add character to knowledge and expertise which are not contestable. You possess that. Nobody will make you a fellow without adequate knowledge. Nobody will dare to look at your application without the right expertise. All right? So you have become a fellow by reason of knowledge and expertise. But character cannot just be given. Character has to be intentional. And each person will have to develop that. And there is no way you can measure character, even at the board interview, to be able to select a fellow. Some of these you can hide for some time. All right. So, with the addition of character, the leader, the fellow becomes a leader now. Character is about having the right attitudes about service. A quality of life that distinguishes you from so many people around you. You look beyond your farm. You want your farm to be big, where you understand that there are other farms around. And to the extent that all the other farms are doing well, will your own farm be able to do well? You believe in humanity. And you believe in collaboration. And you believe in leaving a legacy for NIS. That's what we mean by character. All right, look at what happens. You become a leader with tremendous influence that will rewrite the history of NIS. And this is the way it works out. Listen to what John Adams said. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. Only a leader with knowledge, expertise, and character will do that. The rest of humanity will just say, I already get what I'm looking for in surveying now. I have paid my price. I went to so many bushes. Now I'm in limousine. Let them also go to bush now. And then when their own time comes, they will also be enjoying like this. Bring me that glass of wine. Authentic leaders that NIS need will not abdicate. They don't remove the ladder after they have gotten to the top. They desire to leave a legacy, to bequeath to the coming generation a viral NIS. They take the lead in creating a desired future for the profession they love. I hope you love this profession. I hope it wasn't forced on you. You actually wanted to study mechanical engineering and then they forced you to read surveying. It might happen, but at the same time, you fell in love with it. And it has helped you, brought you here. Come on, I know how much flight costs now from the different places where you flew. And some of you flew business class. You have to begin to think now. Can we take a look at the NIS, put it right in front of us, think about what is best for it, and be able to say, God forbid that NIS should fall while I am on duty, while I'm alive. God forbid that NIS will not get to the place where it ought to be just because I didn't play my role. That's when NIS is before you. And then when you carry NIS shoulder high and you are able to talk about it. I do not know if any of you had opportunity to meet Surveyor Kukoi. I was once surveyor because I was a friend to his children. When he talked about surveying, it would be as if there is no other profession in the world. He spoke with real confidence. When he asked me once, he said, what did you study? I said, mechanical engineering. I said, why didn't you do surveying? And it was helpful because I now persuaded my younger brother to read surveying. Unfortunately, he's into accounting now. He said, okay, you want me to read survey? All right, come on, I've done the survey now. Take the certificate. All right, let me. We need ambassadors like him who will make survey practice look like the best thing that has happened to the world. Is it not the oldest profession in the world? Come on, what other profession is as old as survey? And then we have to pick up NIS from where it has fallen and nurture it. It's a commitment that we must share. And let's be clear about this, ladies and gentlemen. We rise by lifting others. Your own rising will be curtailed if you do not allow others to rise. If the profession does not grow with you, the profession will destroy not only the profession itself, the environment will destroy not only the profession, but you also. God forbid that. There are 3 leadership options you have for any of you that want to get involved, in bequeathing a desirable future for NIS. You can drag NIS as if it's your property and drag it to wherever you want it to go. I want them to go into this direction because this is the direction that will favor me. That's a bad leadership style. And I hope you won't do that. I'd like you to know that surveying does not start and end with you. There are some of those younger generation who are smarter, who understand issues more than you, and who are energetic enough to be able to drive. I still know some of you here, you are not using up to 10% capacity of the quality phone that you are carrying. Apart from text message, WhatsApp, you are not doing anything else with it. Give that phone to a younger surveyor, 20, 23, 24, 25. You will see what they will do with that phone. Because they are more technological survey. So you are not going to drag NIS. You have another option, you could shoulder NIS. And of course, nobody can become a national president of NIS without being a fellow. So you are already shouldering that. And a number of those in National Executive Council are also fellows of NIS. And that's the minimum you could do. Shoulder. Give a broad shoulder to it. But for the rest of you who will not serve in the executive, and you will be more, you can offer your shoulders into the future. So that through those shoulders, expertise, experience, and character, NIS will be able to stand on those broad, willing and capable shoulders and see into the future. And say, Dr. Adelaw, there is a new idea we are coming up with. We hope it's something. And Dr. Adelaw, instead of saying, come on, get away out of here, I don't have all the time. Say, sit down, young man. Sit down, young man. Let's have a look at it. And then the limitations of those ideas are brought to the fore because Dr. Adelaw has the experience, has the knowledge, and thank God he has the character to be able to listen to the young man. And then the holes are plugged, and the future of NIS is secured. The shoulders of experience, of competence, of knowledge, and of character have made it possible for the generation after you to see into the future. Let's be clear. It is ideas that rule the world. It's not about just sitting down and counting your millions. You've got to be able to look into the future and create new ideas, new opportunities. When you are not creating new opportunities, even the old opportunities will die. So what do we do? A holy book said, your old men will dream dreams, your young men will see visions. Even at your ages, you can still dream dreams. Dreams of a better NIS, dreams of a better future for you. I'm 65, older than a small number of people here. But there are a number of people who are much older than me. And I'm not thinking of retirement. What will I be retiring for? Something I love doing? Come on. I'm creating new opportunities on a daily basis. And ideas are ruling my world. Look at what Mr. Jackson said years ago, which 20 years after Obama became the president of the United States. Nobody ever imagined that, but Mr. Jackson saw it. He said, we have removed the ceiling above our dreams that are no more impossible dreams. The fact that you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s maybe, does not mean you should stop dreaming. Come on, start afresh. And I'm going to show you that the only limits that exist are the ones in your own mind. You create your own limits. So let your mind soar. Come on. Let it sow. Can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? A study from the New England Journal of Medicine, 2018, found that the most productive age in a person's life is between 60 and 70. Can you believe that? That's when people retire and say, I have had enough. I am a happy man. Come on. That's when your life is just starting. Your limbs may be weak. You may not be as fast as you used to be with a billionaire, however. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Fijabi, for this interesting, motivating, and something for us to ponder on for moving our profession forward. I want to let you know that this today we have 6 past presidents of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors that are seated, and including the current president, and they have all listed, they have all men from your background, and your speech has not been called their minds. Led by Professor Fijabi, Alanjo Anakokite, and I'm sure you guys have heard of him there. Also, we have Professor Sovia Shofu, PPNIS, and long run also we have Sovia Mikano, PPNIS, FNIS. We have Sovia Diaga, NIS, PPNIS, Sovia Abiodun Fijabi, Sovia Abo, CD Jazz, FNIS, PPNIS. We will take, I hope we can take a few questions because we still have a lot to do, and I will moderate it. And can I have only 3 people to speak? If you have questions, can you raise up your hands? Or comments? The soft copy of what we have done will be posted. If you have comments or questions, just 2 or 3. No? Well, thank you, yes. Where is the... Right.
Mr. Chairman, past presidents here present, fellows, I think the guest speaker, a mechanical engineer who would have been a surveyor, has given us food for thought. And I think I have never attended a precise and to the point lecture that is not boring but educating like this one. So I would like, on behalf of all of us here, first congratulate the speaker and thank you for this brilliant presentation, which has given us a lot more knowledge and encouragement as flexible giants. So I think what I have taken from this lecture is to ensure that I bring up in a mentoring manner those who are with us and coming behind us. And like you say, it is not that today, but now. With this comment, I'd like to thank you and congratulate you. Thank you very much.
Second question here. Second question or comments? Come at the back. Please take the microphone to you.
Mr. Chairman, past presidents here present, and colleagues, I'm really impressed by the last speaker, but I wish that some people from my state were here to listen to our guest speaker. Why I'm saying that, my name is Abiodun. I'm always known here, sir. My name is Abiodun Fijabi. Your state? Abiodun. Now, we have Hall of Fame, and we have Hall of Infamy. And in Abiodun State, our present leaders in the NIS Please interrupt. I am speaking to this gathering based on what is happening on poor leadership in my state. If you don't want me to bring up that listen, then I can drop the phone. Okay. Now, a lot of our leadership, they are training the young ones into halls of infamy. They have inducted some of them to continue with poor leadership in the state. That is why I'm saying that in Abiodun State, the leadership and the future is very black. I am putting this on notice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The last comments. Bro. No, that's the last one and then
Mr. Chairman, all the protocols of that. To our presenter, I want to congratulate you for bringing this message to us. But let me please ask you to go to your second slide for each and every one of us to see what you have there. Yes, can you please do that? Oh, you disconnected? Okay. Let me read it. Fellows, as leaders, if your action inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. This is a message I want each and everyone seated here to take home. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go to Capitol. Microphone here. Take this one.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I had to go out and do what has to be done. The past president here said, you will have heard him from me. I said, it's very dangerous to so do. And I've been robbed of all the comments that have been made, except the last one, which I support. And I want to thank the Speaker. Certainly, you were a good choice, and you continue to be a good choice every time. We've had you before, and by the grace of God, we will have you again. Even some of us that are over the ages that you are displaying, we will still be around when we come around. I just wanted to, people have been commenting, I wanted to ask a question. I hope nobody has asked that question earlier on. You see, the NIS, we know, all of us, we know that is the oldest professional association in this country, and that's the fact. So we have developed over the years this particular organ of the NIS only recently got the status that it has now, recently. Even though we know that in other places the status is there. And the status that we are talking about is a status that makes it kind of semi-autonomous and has been disengaged from the executive arm, so to say. So it has put us in a situation in which we are, even though we are insiders, we are also kind of outsiders looking inside to see how things can be better done. But that was a little bit of challenge, which delayed the coming into being of this type of board that we operate, because there are organs of the NIS, various organs, including executive council and the council itself, then the AGM, and all of them have functions. And
I'm trying to spend some time in Ghana, and I looked at various hotels, trying to see, and a lot of these hotels do not have one hotel building of theirs. Constantly challenging the obstacles, thinking anew, constantly pushing the limits, creating new frontiers. Come on, you can do it. Of course, the same attitude as I can, and I can. The result will be you create the future for your lives. All right, this board, if it's going to be an authentic board, in my own opinion, must be a board of giants and must become industry disruptors. You've got to give NIS the opportunity to see what this disruption will look like of your industry and how you will change the way the game is played. This will require for you to think outside the box and to allow this creative thinking to reflect not only on your life but on your contribution, but also on the institute that you love. This is a basic demand that you will need to be able to lead NIS into the future. Listen to this. Good associations predict the future. Great ones create it. You can help to do that. I like what Waldo Emerson said. He said, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail there. And we can do this. All of us can do this. We can. Yes, we can. We can create possibilities. And how do we do that? But listen to what Judge Bernard Shaw said first. There are those that look at things the way they are and they ask, why are things just doing half-assed like they are doing? While they are doing that, some dream of things that never were, and they ask themselves two important questions. Why not? So they keep constantly asking, what if? What if means, what are the possibilities? What are options? What if? What if? It sets them in thinking. What if? Wouldn't it be great? Look, what things would really be like. If you could do this, you have a wish list, and that would be a pointer to some of the creativity that you could bring. I wish I could have been the beneficiaries of thinking creatively like this in a number of the things that I have done. There was a day I thought, I've never been to the Caribbean before. And I said, what will a trip to Caribbean look like? And then, what questions like this will generate in your mind will be, because your mind is limitless. But because you're asking questions, you just see it will trigger something in your mind, and the environment, nature itself will respond to your thinking and to your questioning spirit. That was why I remember a friend of mine who had been to the Caribbean before, I called. And then he called somebody else. That one called another person, and then in less than 1 month, a ticket to the Caribbean was waiting for me, all expenses paid. And it started with, wouldn't it be great if I visited the Caribbean? How might we? How can it be done? Asking that constantly sets your brain, put your brain to work. Why not? What's stopping us? When we realize that we're the only ones stopping ourselves, you will see we will do something. This provokes action. What's stopping us from acting on this idea? What if our success was completely guaranteed? Sometimes, if you think that what you're about to do will be hugely successful, there is a level of enthusiasm you will get doing it. Just what if our success was guaranteed if we could do this? What if we couldn't fail? What bold step might we take? It's amazing. As I close, let's look at what roles are this discerning board. Look, this board must be known for best practices in your individual capacities, in your attitude, and in what you promote. Trends. Look, we're not going to agree for those youngest of yours to be more trendy, to be trendier than us. We're not old cargo. Is there any old cargo here? No. All right. Is there any paralyzed giant here? No. All right. Okay. So we have flexible giants, and then we are going to have pioneering giants. That's the least we can be. Intellectual discourse has to come to the fore of this board, because new ideas will not come unless you allow people to reason out, and you are able to argue out, you're able to ask the right questions, and you have people who will help you stimulate new thinking in that area. And you are looking at new trends in the surveying practice, in the built environment, economic impact on surveying, new technology as it relates to surveying, climate change as it affects surveying, policy changes of local government, of state government, of federal government as it relates to surveying. I hope you will be able to find reason to bring an economics person to be able to look at the new policies of the government as it is going to affect surveying. And you're going to go around the world and see what somebody is doing in UK, what somebody is doing in Kenya, what somebody is doing in Morocco, because knowledge is not limited to any tribe, to any nation. And you fly him all the way, like you flew me all the way from, you transported me from Abiodun to Lagos last night, and then you put me in a hotel, and then you flew me here this morning, and you're going to house me here, pay for my, and then transport me back by air, and then take me by car to Abiodun. And you're paying for all of this. Okay, but look, we need to be able to search for knowledge, do whatever it is we can do to get the information. This board, for it to be relevant, has to be a think tank. Think tank for the NIS Executive Council, think tank for the built environment sector, think tank for all tiers of government. I mean, Kazim and I were in the car today. What a joy when he was talking to me about some of the things they do in the local areas, promoting surveying, and this is a project that has been on for 4 years, I'm told. It's amazing. And how excited I was. I was with the women in surveying the other time, and they were talking about the promotion of surveying in schools. I mean, that really got me. Public and private sectors will see you as think tank, international organizations. When they want to do anything about built environment, they'll say, okay, let's go to the NIS. You're going to play advisory role. Advisory role, I hope that also includes not limiting yourself to ideas. This will include mentoring. This will include conflict resolution, because these coming ones will fight each other because they have limited knowledge, limited experience, and maybe they are deficient in character. And here are you coming in to be able to assist and be able to surprise the limits. I hope you will be an advocate of NIS, advocate of surveying, like Kukoyi was to me. Please. Can you imagine somebody telling me, mechanical engineering? Why didn't you read survey? It has to be an advocacy. And then promote the role of surveyors in Nigeria to the federal government, to every level, defending, using all of the, connections that you have. I hope you'll be known as an innovative hub. And I hope NIS, to which some of the leadership, who are members of your group, I hope they will be able to see you as a place they want to come to be able to draw inspiration for greatness. I hope you will be a clearinghouse for information, data. I think, do we say gone are the days when some of yours were clumsy? Is it gone are the days? When some of yours will be looking for a plan and they will look for it for 2 days because they are not well filed, they don't know where it is. Are you sure? Okay. Some of yours have never been clumsy. Okay. I understand some of yours have never been clumsy, so erase that from the back of your mind if you felt the word. And you must be able to look holistically into surveying of today and surveying of the future. Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, you are crucial, very, very crucial to the work, to the future of NIS. That future starts today. I think no. It starts now. Tomorrow is there. Yeah. Remember the Igbo proverb. While the elders see while sitting, the young ones standing on their toes won't see. Well, you have intelligence and you have expertise, and when a tree is about to fall, while they are preparing to receive the tree on the right, you look with from the prism of your experience and knowledge and says, prepare the left. It's going to fall on the left. And those who are smart among them, we go towards the left and prepare. Because, and that's where most of the executive CEOs of Fortune 500 companies in the world are between the ages of 60 and 40 and 70. Most of them. Guess what? The second most productive age is between 70 and 80. So think about it. You are retiring. I know your children meet Mr. Because they told me, they said, how come Daddy be putting up a big building at the age of 70? And I laughed at them and I said, come on, what do you expect him to be doing? Then I told them a story of a 90-year-old who redesigned his house at 90. He was about to be 90 and he redesigned his house. He was a builder and he redesigned his house. And the children, I said, sir, it's taking about 20 million for you to do this house. He said, is it your money? He died 2 years after, but he had a great deal of kick from it. Supervising it like he used to do when he was in his 40s and 50s. And he went around the nation supervising projects. And he enjoyed it, looking at them and seeing the creation of his hands. Come on, let's love life. Let's be excited about what we can do. And the third most productive decade is 50 to 60. So if any of you is between the age of 50 and 60, I can see some of you here, you are just in the third category. So don't rest on your oars. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. You are never too old. So dream big. And dream so big that your dream will scare you. If your dreams do not scare you, then your dreams are too small. If your wife, your husband will not say, you have been doing all of this for 7, it is time to rest. If your wives and your husband don't say that, then those dreams are not big enough. But let's quickly put a caveat there. It's possible for you as a board member to be a paralyzed giant. You're a giant, but you're paralyzed. It's like you see salt. You know, salt has a lot of superlative qualities. It's actually a giant substance. You know, it preserves, it purifies, it protects, and it sweetens. So, if there is no salt in the body, the body will miss it seriously, and that's how important salt is. You can imagine putting a salt in the salt shaker or the salt container, and well-decorated container, and you put it in a place where everybody coming will see it. And they said, "Where is the salt?" He said, "The salt is there." "Okay, all right, we have food here, we want to eat now. Can we take part of the salt?" He said, "No, I just want to put it in the stand so that people see how beautiful the salt is." Is that the role of a salt? No. It's possible for a giant to be so powerless by reason of the wrong attitude that it has. I just want to enjoy my fortune, that's all. God has been good. So no zest, no dreams at all. He received all new ideas. She said, "No, me, I don't want to do anything like that. All this new equipment you people are using, God forbid, me, I'm still old school." No nerve to challenge the status quo. He said they are having problem in NIS. God will help you settle it. There is no greater calamity than to have a paralyzed giant. It's a calamity. Complacent and or fearful about the future. Wrong attitude of "I don't care and I can't." You know what the implication of that would be? He or she will be irrelevant to the future of NIS. NIS can count him or her out. She's a paralyzed giant. But it's possible for you to be a flexible giant, which is a better approach, a better attitude. Alright? Here, you are not fixated on old ideas, you even welcome new ones. You are always abreast of best practices in the industry. You are ready for change whenever it's necessary. It's because you realize the change is everywhere, and there is nothing you could do to arrest change. The only thing in the world that is permanent is actually change. And you are willing and ready to adapt to change and learn new ideas and skills. Several years ago, I was at an institute in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in the United States, and the organization paid my way to ask me to do something for them. So I got there, and I was there like really bold and daring because of my pedigree, some of the things that I've done. And I got there, and they said, "Yeah, Mr. Fijabi, welcome. Thank you. We've heard about you, and we know that you will do great." I said, "Well, that's right." I was so arrogant, thinking I'm going to teach these Oyinbo guys a thing or two. And they said, "Mr. Fijabi, do you have PowerPoint? Will you be able to show us your PowerPoint?" I said, "PowerPoint." Because, see, my mother born me. Me, I don't know anything when they call power. I know power. I know point. But combining both together, that's so strange to me. Then I saw younger men and women from Asia, from Latin America, they brought their laptop and they began to and I had one antiquity laptop, but I didn't bring it from Nigeria because it would weigh down my luggage because it was so big. So I left it. They said, "Mr. Fijabi, we're sorry, you have to present through PowerPoint." So I now went to meet a Japanese. You see, the arrogant guy, I came down from my exalted position and I went to the Japanese. I said, yeah, John, how you doing? I said, don't announce to everybody I am hearing a PowerPoint for the first time. Is that happy? No! I said, you're not. And they said, can we meet after lunch? Took me after lunch, gave me 2 hours of lecture. And I'm a fast learner. I didn't sleep that night. Working on my slide because I was to make presentation the following day. They said, Mr. Fijabi, oh, you did well. You had the best material. You had this, you had that, but your PowerPoint was not good. And they gave me 5 out of 10 on my PowerPoint presentation. You know, Americans are generous, not like, they will give you 6, very good. 7, excellent. If it is excellent, they will give you 800. They will give you 10. They are not afraid to give 10. And if it is very good, they will give you 9.5 or 9. All right. And I scored 10, 10, 10, 10, almost all the other categories except the PowerPoint. So by the time they summed it up, I still led the class of about 22 people from across the world. I said, oh, so the only thing I cannot do is PowerPoint. So I flew to Chicago, which was the mid-US, and I, for the next 1 month, taught myself how to use PowerPoint. What you are saying today is a result of my learning. My staff did not do this. I did it myself. For 3 years, I devoted my life to developing these skills, and I'm one of the best at it in the circuit of speakers. 3 years after, universities in Nigeria asked me to come and teach their professors, some of them including professors of computer science, how to use PowerPoint. It's amazing. You can always learn. You can grow. You can be anything you want to be. The attitude here is, I care about NIS, and I can do a lot for NIS. I have the power, I have the resources to do so. The result will be you're relevant to the future of NIS. But the better approach, ladies and gentlemen, would be for you to be a pioneering giant. Here, you don't just adapt, you innovate. And somebody said, don't talk to me about innovation. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. No. In actual fact, your old dogs should be full of new tricks in order to save NIS. Don't predict the future, create it. Don't be an armchair critic and say, well, this is what the future will look like. And then you don't like that future. You say, we are stuck. No, create the future you desire. And you can become an industry disruptor. You disrupt the way things are done. So look at what has happened to the way taxis are done now. The biggest taxi company in the world does not have one single taxi. Uber. No single taxi. One of the greatest hotel and recreation, within the recreation and hotel industry, does not have a single hotel. You know, but you and I, we look on it now on the internet.
This body now is kind of honorific, it's special. And the other bodies, the other organs, may look at the body as this body, as a body that wants to impose itself and its will on the others, particularly when those people have been defined as the policy making and executive authorities of the NIS. I hope I'm carrying you along. What can be done to allay the fears of these bodies? The President and his council, the President and his executive, even the AGM, allaying their fears that whatever this body, the fellows, the board of fellows, whatever they bring up is being brought up in the interest of the profession, not as another chance of some kind of power play, trying to dictate and trying to lord it over the others, because that is, that's a possibility. In fact, it does exist as a reality, that the feeling can be there. Thank you very much. Sorry to take a long time.
Thank you. Prof, thank you for your contributions to surveying profession over the years. My younger brother was your student, Abiodun Fijabi. He ran away from surveying, but he did well. He made it second class or pass, almost made it first class actually. Let's know that the role of an outsider in creativity and innovation have been proved far beyond reasonable doubt. In actual fact, organizations would deliberately give outsider status to some within the organization in order for them to be able to look out and then look inward to be able to create the change that they need. So this is deliberate. So NIS may not have done this one deliberately, but we can have the right attitude towards it, and it can provide the basis for the future, in which case our topic today will be relevant. Now, the advantage you have here is that nobody can become a national president without being a fellow. Do I say that? Yeah. So it becomes, so the national president becomes a member of this fellow. Now you can go a little further and say that the national president, the serving national president, must be an ex-officio of the leadership of the board. Now, if it is there in your constitution, if it's not there, it's something you might want to consider. In which case, it sits at the table. Okay, the incoming president is a member of the ESCO, of the Board of Fellows. Or how about the current president? He must have served in the board. Okay, all right. So that's the wisdom in it. Okay, all right. So what happens is that if they know that they are also at the table, they know that the decisions that are made are not for the interest. Okay, so that's a good attitude from the National Executive Council and other organs. But let's look at it. You know, we talk about knowledge, we talk about expertise, and we talk about something missing. Character. Right. What character does is that it doesn't have the arrogant feeling of we are the only ones who know what to do. You remember one of the things that we say you should never do as a board is drag NIS. When you drag it, that means you want it to become your image. And your image is not the only image NIS needs. We must be able to see that NIS needs opening board's interventions, and the board is intervening, but the board is not the only intervening board. There's a role society is playing, there's a role other organizations that interface with are also playing to be able to build their capacity and to help them in the discharge of their functions. So the goal is not to drag NIS. So there are only two things we could do. We could carry NIS on our shoulder, and then we can give our broad shoulders to NIS to be able to see into the future. So that communication line must be clearly defined. It is not going to be an arrogant kind of communication. Like a friend of mine, let me just give an example. A friend of mine once told me, he said, I am done. That was when we were growing up, in our 30s and 40s. I'm done with housemaids. Okay? How do you treat your housemaid? He said, how else do you treat your housemaid? Make them eat in the kitchen. Give them instructions as to what to do. All right? Abuse them with reckless abandonment. And you say, Kaite is going to be a good house girl. When I told them that my housemates always want to come back. I said, how do you do that? I said, well, there's a way to communicate with people. I don't know about you, during COVID, none of my staff left. Even though I paid my staff 10% of their salaries. They all returned. How did I do it for 6 months that they were able to still retain their sanity despite they were not making their money? Because there was constant dialogue, and they knew that we had challenges and that the challenges could not be handled any other way than we had done. There has to be constant communication, a constant dialogue between particularly the National Executive and the Board of Fellows, so that they will be able to see we're not usurping, we are providing. And if we provide all of these services, and the National President and some members of the Council also are part of the developing these new ideas, we did it, so we are implementing it. So when they have the ownership of whatever it is that the Board of Fellows is doing, it becomes easy for them to promote it at NIS. I said, this is what we decided at the board, and we are bringing to NIS. We decided, not they decided. So that ownership has to be there. So from both angles, we've got to have attitudinal changes that will alter the dynamics of the relationships and impact significantly on NIS and its future. Thank you, sir.
With that, I want to thank the FDP for brilliant and inspiring motivational speech about how we move board and institution forward to the desired level. And with that, thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Hope that you can say to hell with your money. So, I also thank all of you for listening attentively, taking notes, and asking very useful questions. We have recorded this lecture or personal talk, and then the video will be posted. The soft copy is already, hard copies are with you. The soft copies are already posted on the platform, and also the video will be posted. We want you to listen all over again, and if possible, try and show them the body of the fellows in the States, so that we can maximize what we have had to be. Thank you very much. We go to the next item before we go for lunch.